Hello, guys. Welcome back to the United Star. Today we have Ayush back at the channel, and we're going to be discussing one of the most controversial figures in football, that is Jose Mourinho. And we're going to be talking about whether he's done in football or whether he actually has a future or whether he should just go back to the Sky Sports studio. So Ayush thinks that Mourinho is done, and let's hear why.
So if we look at Mourinho's recent career, after he got fired from Chelsea, he had the little sabbatical. Then he came to United. At United, he got a second in his uh, finished second with us. It was an incredible achievement. But after that, he had a huge falling out with the team, the players specifically. He started thinking at one point that he's bigger than the club itself. It got to the point where it was just frustrating for the fans to even watch their own team play because players clearly weren't happy. The kind of football that we were watching wasn't entertaining. So he's not a part of the football that we want to watch today. It's something that Klopp had said that football, what kind of football Mourinho plays is not football itself. Football is meant to be something that we enjoy
I
watching.
I think I disagree with that. I mean, Jose Mourinho plays a brand of football, and I think okay, it's not the most fun to watch, but I don't think there's just one way to play football. And I mean, Pep and Klopp have come up with this total football kind of model, and I think it's great to watch for the fans and stuff. But it's not the only way, and I feel what Mourinho brings to the game is incredible because you want to see teams like Atletico Madrid or you want to see teams like Jose Mourinho's team go and make it difficult for teams like Liverpool and teams like City and teams like Barcelona because I don't want to see teams coming and beating an attack versus attack game of football. I don't want to see 4-3 games all the time. I want to see Sadio Mane working hard to get the goal he can. Because there aren't many teams that are great defensive teams in today's era, and Mourinho brings that to football. And as you said, with United, he won the Europa League, he won the Cup, he won the Community Shield, he got us a second. I mean, it was a distant second, but he got us to a second. I mean, that City team was incredible. Any other season, the points tally we had, we would have been fighting for the title. And yeah, he did fall out, but he also didn't get the right signings if you think about it. So I think Jose Mourinho brings a brand of football that is important. You can't have only attacking teams all the time, and I don't think he's done by any stretch of the imagination. He's one of the greatest managers of all time, and he's a lot to offer.
Well, then I guess we got to look at what he's going to do with Tottenham. He just started at Spurs, so it's not fair to judge him entirely yet. But it's also important to look at the team that Pochettino built. A lot of them enjoyed being at Tottenham for the longest time, especially Kane. He had many chances to leave already. He stayed there, hoping to win titles in the future with Spurs itself, but he never had any inclination of leaving. Now, for the first time, Mourinho just came in, and already it seems like they've had a falling apart because Kane's already said that he's considering a move. He might want to even have a switch in the Premier League itself, maybe outside the Premier League. So there is something that Mourinho does. Like we look back even at Madrid, he had great players like Casillas drop out and like he's benched them and destroyed their career. So there is a clear pattern we've watched with Mourinho destroying players.
You say destroying players, but I mean there are players like Samuel Eto'o, there are players like John Terry, Frank Lampard, Drogba. They vouch for Mourinho. Scott McTominay in fact says that he owes a lot of his success to Mourinho. And you might say that Spurs is a small sample size, but he got them from 13th to 5th, and now I think they were 6th before the lockdown. So he did move them up those many positions. Yet he qualified for the Champions League. He qualified for the next round, and he does what he does, and I think Jose Mourinho is one of the greatest villains in football, and I think we need him in football for that. Without him, football would be boring, and there's no use having him. You can listen to him in Sky Sports Studios, and he understands football like nobody else does, and he has a great eye for the game. He has a great sense of the game, and maybe I think the problem is with today's players as well. They don't want to go that extra yard. They don't want to put in that extra work. Like Paul Pogba, for example, he's a classic example. He hates doing work. His work ethic is terrible. So I feel Jose Mourinho has shows a very important aspect of the game in terms of the defensive side, and we need him in football because he's one of the most entertaining managers there is. First of all, and it's great. I mean, you go out and running down in the touchline at Old Trafford. I mean, as much as I hate that moment, it's an iconic moment in football. Going and beating that Barcelona team to win the La Liga. He played attacking football. I think he scored more than 100 goals that season, And so he can do it. He knows how to win games. He knows how to win titles. Wherever he's gone, he's won things. And I think if fans are too quick to write him off because they don't like his way and they don't like his confrontational style, but I think that's what makes it interesting. And just having Klopp cheerleading around the touchline and just having Pep blaming everything else but his players all the time, I'm not for that. I think football is a hard game. It's a strong game, and we need Mourinho in.
Only time will tell us finally if Mourinho is done or not. But another factor to consider is wherever Mourinho is gone, he's generally needed a big budget to spend, needed to get his own team players in. That's one of the reasons why he failed at United, also, is what you said. So even now, he needs a lot of signings to make Spurs succeed. But we've seen Spurs in the past, they've rarely signed players. Now, with the pandemic, with the clubs having even more stringent budgets, it's unlikely that he gets the players that he wants. So we're probably going to see another failure for Mourinho. And
Maybe so, but you forget the Porto team he won the Champions League with. Not the best team. Maybe you're right that he had players that he wanted. But we forget, Pep Guardiola went out and spent 200 million on a defense. Jurgen Klopp has spent 75 million on a goalkeeper and 50 million before the season before that on a goalkeeper. So I think every manager goes out there and tries to buy the players they want. There are very few managers who can go into a club and adopt to the club style. I can't even recall many managers like that. All managers want. Guardiola thought Jesus could replace Aguero. I mean, that's one of the most stupid things I've heard a manager say. But I mean, so all managers have had that, and I think Mourinho is no different. And at United, maybe if he would have gotten Maguire and Van der Saka, we wouldn't be so much behind from the title race, so much behind from the third position right now. And I think it's a big factor to consider. And so I think that Mourinho will not fail at Spurs. I think people want him to fail, but as we know, he's not a specialist in failure.
we'll find out soon.
Yeah. So, guys, Ayush is not convinced. I think I tried my best, but he's not convinced, and I have nothing more to say. And I think Jose Mourinho is there, and he's going to do a good job with Spurs. Ayush disagrees. We'll find out soon, but I think we both can agree that Mourinho makes football entertaining and interesting. Let us know what you think in the comments, and like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you all next time with something new.